Hi, I'm Liz Lipsky. People so often tell me they just don't have enough time to cook. So in this short little video, I'm going to show you how simple it is to make chicken stock. The other night, I made a chicken, and after we picked off most of the meat, I took the bones, the cartilage, what was left of the skin, and I tossed it in a pot with some water. Now, I'm just going to chop up some celery. And I'm going to use the leaves and everything. I'm going to throw it in my pot. I'm going to do the same with some carrots. You say to me, like, so why chicken stock? What's so important about making chicken stock in the first place? Oh, we hope she doesn't cut off a finger because she's not looking. What's so important about chicken stock? One of the things that's great about it is that when you cook these chicken bones over long periods of time, because I'm going to cook these all day, see how there's cartilage on the end of this bone and how there's connective tissue, and the bone itself, the bone's a receptacle for calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, other trace minerals, and protein. We also have marrow in the bone, which supplies other essential nutrients. We've got cartilage, and we've got other connective tissue, and all of this ends up going into this broth. So we end up with a protein-rich, mineral-rich, alkalizing broth that we can use as the base for soup. And we can also take the same broth and we can cook vegetables in it instead of using water for steaming. We can also use it as the broth for making rice and a nice rice pilaf or a grain pilaf. We can just sip the broth, and it's one of the most gut restorative foods that we actually have. I'm just tossing the carrots into the soup. Gonna slice up this onion really quickly. Actually, this onion doesn't look so fabulous. You know, one of the things is when you buy organic foods, you often find that they spoil more quickly in your refrigerator, and that's what I'm finding about these onions that I purchased from my health food store recently. Might get another onion to actually stick in. I don't really have to chop the onion too fine or anything. And I'm going to put the onions also into the pot. And then one of the magic ingredients is I'm going to take a little raw apple cider vinegar, and I'm going to put that into the pot as well. And I'm just going to put about maybe 3 tablespoons of vinegar. One of the things that's important about using the vinegar is that with vinegar, we've got a very acid substance. I'm looking for some bay leaves here. Don't know where my bay leaves are. We'll have to find those. Oh, I have them already. No wonder I can't find them. One of the things about putting in the vinegar is that it acidifies the broth, and so it starts allowing for those alkaline minerals that are in the bones to come out of the broth. I'm going to just pop in a couple of bay leaves for flavor. And you know that song, Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme? Here's some parsley. Here's some sage. And that was way too much sage, so I'm going to kind of rescue some of that out of there. One of the great benefits of actually measuring and using spoons, which I don't seem to have mastered, rosemary. And again, I'm putting in about maybe 2 to 3 teaspoons of each herb. And here's some thyme. And these are classic poultry spices. Normally in the summer, I have plenty of them and I can use it from fresh from the garden. And then here I'm adding a little bit of salt. This is Celtic salt, although a lot of people won't add any salt to their broth while they're making it. They'll add it later. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of pepper. And this broth is good to go. I'm going to stick it on the stove. I'm going to stir it. Get all those herbs mixed in nicely. And then I'm going to let this sit and simmer for somewhere between usually 6 to 10 hours. I'm just going to keep checking on it, and we'll soon have a great broth. And then I'll strain the broth and it'll be ready to go. Maybe I'll see you later for when I'm straining it. Hi again. It's later that same day and the house has been smelling absolutely great. My assistant is like, what are you cooking up there? He'll get used to it. He's new. So I'm going to take this off the stove. I kept it covered the whole time. And this has been cooking for about maybe 4 hours. And you can see we've got a nice broth here. And I'm going to just strain this broth in a very simple way. And I want you to see how the carcass that was really whole before is now in major pieces because it's very much dissolved. And you could strain the soup, or you could actually, sometimes I'll just pull out the bones and I'll leave the vegetables in, and then I'll start adding to it and making soup. Because probably what I'll do with this is turn this into vegetable soup. And see, there's just bones, there's a little bit of meat. I'll probably throw the meat right back in, and I may pick through this when it's cool and put the vegetables back in as well. But people don't generally like to get little bits of bone in their soup or gristle. You could also take this and just strain this through a sieve. I just find that this is simple and doesn't take much time, not too messy. And there's still some carrots, a little bit of bone. Now, when I take this soup and I put it in the refrigerator, tomorrow, which I'm not going to show you, it will turn into a big gelatinous mass. And again, that gelatin is protein and connective tissue, and you know you've got a really great soup when it looks like Jell-O. Wish you could smell this because it just smells heavenly. And I think I've pretty much gotten most of everything out. We just have a little bit of celery floating on the top and some herbs. And now this is ready to either go into the freezer or turn it into some soup as a base, or I might just have a cup of it right now as is. And that's how simple it is to make chicken soup. So now you have no excuse for saying, it just takes too long and I don't have much time. And now you've got something you can make that's simple and easy and just takes a few minutes of your time. Bye now.